Go into your working folder and open up a document with the name of areatext.ai. In this lesson, we're going to talk about text in an area. Now, technically speaking, we've already done this. We picked up this tool right over here, the typing tool, in the previous lesson, and we made a box and we put text in it. Although I called it container text, which it is, it's actually area text. We have a tool for that. But why? Well, here's the difference. With the type tool, we come over here, we click, we drag, we go in the box, we type. But the container itself will always be a rectangle or a square, okay? With the area type tool, this one, basically you have to have a shape already made that you're planning on converting into area type, which opens up the door to anything we want to draw. So let's do this. Let's come over here. In my layers panel, I have two layers, background and work area. This is locked right now. Unlock it. Click right here, and then select background. Pick up your ellipse tool and hold the Alt key down and draw from center like that, okay? Something like that. Now we're working in the typography workspace. So my graphic styles are actually over here now. And if I click, and this is document specific, if you are in the area text working file, you will see some different options down here that I added. And one is this one right here. Go ahead and click it. Kind of makes it look like a big old squish, doesn't it? Let's close that down. Lock background and go back to work area, unlocked. Pick up your ellipse tool again and draw me an ellipse inside of that area that you want the text to be in. So I can get right about here, I suppose. I could hold the Alt key if I want to do this from center, which I do, and just kind of draw out. I'm not quite at center, but I'll deal with that in a second. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Don't really worry about what it looks like here, that's fine. But if you click this button right here, it will take it to default. You don't really have to do that, but we did. I'm going to pick up my Move tool, and I'm going to put it where I want it to be, and maybe use my arrow keys a little bit too. That's where I want the text to be, so that is my container, not the squish in the background, that. So I come over here and I pick up my Area Type tool. Notice it has a circle around it, meaning an area. Understand you have to click on the path, not inside. You have to click on the path. So you get on the path, touch it, and click. Watch what happens. The reason I'm not putting text inside the squish is because if I did, the squish would go away. When you define an area for text and then put text in it, whatever the shape was is gone. It becomes invisible and only becomes a path to hold. Now, I've already typed in something so I can copy and paste it, make it a little bit faster. And it's the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog's back. And if I do a copy paste a couple of times, you'll see it's putting it in there and it's using the boundaries defined by the oval. Now, it is going in nice and pretty. Let's go ahead and finish that off. And I'm using paste, which is Control-V or Command-V on a Mac, Control-V in Windows, and moving and just putting it right in like this. Now notice it is left justified. I don't really want it left justified. In an oval, it might be better, I suppose, if it were centered. So if I get into the text, that should all be one huge paragraph. If I get into the paragraph options up here and center, I think that would probably look better if it were centered. And let's go ahead and come back down here again. That will collapse on its own. And do a couple of more pastes. And say we'll stop right about there. Notice that when I deselect, the text is indeed inside that area. If I come over to it, well, I could change it. I could make it maybe a little bit taller. I could bring it in, maybe hold the Alt key down and bring it in on either side if that's something I want to do. And the text will reformat itself based on that particular area. So we're using a very wonky kind of shape in the background, using a graphic style, and then using another text box on top, or a container, to put the text in. Now let's do this. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's unlock background and delete that. Come over here and pick up your ellipse again. Give me one more ellipse here, actually two. I get hung up on one shape, I know that. I'm going to get right about here. I'm going to draw another shape, maybe like that. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let me go ahead and go into my Move tool, and I'm going to select both of these right here. I'm going to go up to the Align option. I just love these options up here because they're always kind of intuitive on what you need. I'm going to go to Align here and make sure that they are aligned left and right, so they need to be kind of aligned just a little bit. And now they're that way. I want them together as one piece, and I want to put text inside of that shape. Now, we could go to the Pathfinder panel and use Unite, but don't forget, they're both selected. This tool over here, and that's the Shape Builder tool. Remember what it does? If I just drag across these until they're all selected, it will combine or unite them. Looks like a real wonky acorn, I guess. Anyway, if I do something, here's the problem. If I now convert that into area type, you're not going to have that background. As a matter of fact, I don't like that background. Let's do this. Let's select it and go over here to our graphic styles again. And let's choose that one right there. Why not? Yeah, let's go ahead and turn that off. The problem again is if I make it into area type, all that goes away. So here's the trick. I'm going to go up the word edit, and I'm going to tell the computer I want to copy this thing. Edit copy or Command or Control C. Now let's lock down the background. I like my text in a separate layer. Go back to work area. Don't just say paste. Say paste in place. Now it looks exactly the same, but it's right on top, so that's cool. Now pick up the area type tool and get on the edge, on the path, and click. Now it was kind of hard to see, but it went away. It's now invisible. And I'll do some pasting again. I like being able to paste. And let's go ahead and go back to a selection tool. My problem is it's following the shape. And the shape is indeed down here that we see. That one's invisible. But it's too close to the edges for what I want. Now there's a couple of ways that we can deal with this. But the easiest way to try up front is just shrink the box on top and let it reformat. So if we come over here and pick up our selection tool and select that box, I'm going to go to a corner and hold the Alt key, and that's the Option key on a Mac, Alt in Windows, and the Shift key. So it draws it in or out from center. And notice the text will get bigger if I do this. Let's stop right there. Well, there you go. A simple way to create a shape and then put text within the body of the shape by using a copy of the shape and then using that for the outline for the area text.